Hey, what's going on? Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to is it the first stream of the year? I don't know. One of the
It
first
is first
few.
stream.
Okay, first stream of the year. Here we go. For the Amateur Otaku podcast. We're here to talk about Dragon Ball Daima now that it has wrapped up. I'm sure that we're going to be talking about some spoilers, so we'll, I guess, try and section it off here, spoiler and non-spoiler. But just know there will be spoilers in this conversation at some point. But before we get into that, I'd like to introduce the panelists, starting with Didge. Tell me, well, what's going on with you, Didge? How's it going?
Oh, it's going good. The weather's getting nicer. Anime Milwaukee was this weekend. That was a lot of fun. Things are good.
That's good. Nice to hear it. Maybe we'll
Nice.
see a vlog or something in the coming weeks.
That is the
Fingers
plan.
crossed. Isaac, how's it going for you?
It's going good. It's going good. F's. Oh, shy. Daylight saving times. Why are you still a thing? That's all I'm gonna say.
You know, it's a good question. I don't think anybody knows. I think we're just doing it. But truthfully, I feel like they said like a few years ago that like at this point it doesn't really matter like if we do it or not, but we still do it because I don't know. I guess it's just that's what we do. We mess up everybody's
Yeah.
schedule for couple weeks at a time. But we're here to discuss Dragon Ball Daima. Let's talk about that. So, Dragon Ball Daima ended last week, and for me, I don't know about y'all, it was sorely missed this week when looking at anime I wanted to watch on Saturday. I'm like, oh yeah, Daima's it's done. No more Daima. Which reminds me, I actually did not watch Sakamoto Days. I have to go back and watch that. But um I guess where should we start with this? Let's just talk general vibe about how y'all feel about the season, and we can start with you, Isaac.
It's. It's just. I believe I said that in the first episode we had when we talked about it, and it is. That is. I went in with a. I'm gonna just watch and see what it is because, as you would know, I was the one that was the least excited about it to the point that I was, why is this even a thing? But the more I watched, like I said, the more I watched it, the more I liked it, honestly. And I are we still sure that it's a different timeline age or something? I
I
was,
don't know.
I was just
I would
thinking
say so.
canon wise. I sure hope so because otherwise, how are they gonna? Whatever. But yeah, I did enjoy it. I was maybe a bit meh at the first episode, but it only went better from there.
All right. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad that your opinion changed after from first look, I guess, to now having finished the series. What about you, Did? I know you were excited for this one.
Yeah, I was excited. Just because when they first sort of announced it, they were saying it's gonna have like a more Dragon Ball feel, and Dragon Ball was fun. Like it's definitely not as action packed as Z Super or GT, but it made up for it in that sense of adventure. So I was happy to get that. And as we were going through the series, you definitely could see the elements or the inspiration from that. Obviously, huge inspirations from GT as well. You can tell, but I was thoroughly happy with what we got. To Isaac's point, I feel like it has to be a separate timeline. So uh, it would be really interesting if it wasn't. I would be curious to see how you would do that, but overall, I'm happy with it. I hope we would get more.
Yeah. I'm with the both of you. Um I think I was like in the middle as far as my excitement goes when the announcement came through. I think I don't know if the clip of me talking about Diamond when it was announced is on this channel or not. Because I did something for it at New York Comic Con couple years ago. I can't even remember at this point. But I was very excited. I was interested, and I punctuated my clip with, "Where is Gohan?" That's the only question. Where is Gohan? And to this day, I am still asking, where was Gohan in the series? So I decided to wear my Gohan shirt today because that's the representation that we're gonna get. It's unfortunate, but that's the way that it was.
Do I need to watch this before Super comes back? I don't think so. Because I don't think this has anything to do with the Super continuity.
Yeah.
This is
it goes through the entirety of C, so you get catched up, and on top of that, it's its own thing. Kind of deal. And hello, Mike.
I'd say so. Which is interesting. Yes, hello, Mike. It's interesting because I do feel like they did some great world building in this series that I would like to carry over in some kind of way. So it's not impossible for them to do it. Like they could totally just say like, the same things in Super, but then it's kind of like it's not going to be as special, I guess. But I don't know. They've added some, I guess, difficulties to their journey with this, with Daima in general. But we don't have to worry about that. That's a future crew question. Right now, present crew, we've enjoyed what we've seen. It was a lot of fun. I do feel like the pace towards like the back half of the series for me personally, it slowed down a little bit too much where I was like, guys, like, come on, like, let's move forward with something, like, let's explore more of the demon world, like something or other. And I felt like we didn't do as much of that towards the end, and I don't know if it was like a production, whatever reason it was, to like get to that big finale, because that finale fully made up for it. It was incredible. But that's the only critique I would have, with no spoilers. As far as the series goes, like there was a little bit of a dip where I was like, come on, like let's come on, we got to keep this going. And I even talked with Ditch about it for a couple of weeks where I'm like, man, like I don't know what they're doing. And Ditch was like, you gotta enjoy the adventure. And I'm like, listen, I'm fully for smelling the roses, but we don't gotta smell them till they're dead, okay? Like let's move on before the field is dead.
I mean,
yeah.
Okay, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I mean, if you really look at it, the original Dragon Ball compared to C is that it's more of an adventure manga. It's just go from place A, place B, place C, sort of like that. Whereas Dragon Ball C is more of a space wrestling manga, if you really think about it, in terms wrestling / martial arts manga. I was just saying wrestling in terms of how the storylines progresses, if you really think about it. But
right.
I digress. So in an adventure, I would argue that you need kind of the breathing room, so to speak, and calm it down. I mean, even Solo Leveling in a recent episode knew that you had to just a lot of this focus is fighting, yeah, but now let's take a breathing room and just have this simmer for a moment before we just spike it up even more. And I think that was the point of Dragon Ball Super there, because they wanted to do a grand finale, so to speak.
Right.
That would hit even harder now than how it was if it was just boom, 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 boom.
Right. But like I told Ditch, my issue is not with the change from like, oh, we're fighting this dude, we're fighting that dude, like we're doing all that kind of stuff. And I've said on many occasions, I don't watch anime for the fights. Like I'm watching it for like the plot, like building up on these characters, all this other kind of things. Like I do enjoy the fights, but that's not mainly why I watch it. That's why, what was the show? Oh, JJK. I really like the movie because the movie is actually telling me something. Most of JJK is just like, let me hit you. Okay, now let me hit you. And I'm like, it looks gorgeous, but I'm bored. So with Daima, that's why I specifically pointed out one section of the story where I felt like they just slowed down tremendously. And it's just like, you knew what we were waiting to see, or like what the next path forward was, but for some reason it just kept getting delayed. And they even did a gag on like, when we get into the spoilers, I'll talk about it. But I was just like, y'all, we did not need to do this. But it was just one part where I really felt like they were digging into Z a little bit, or it's just like, let's power up for 3 episodes. But that, outside of that, I really enjoyed the series, and I feel like everything worked out well. So I was here for the adventure.
She was half here for the adventure, y'all.
I don't know how like one section needs have. I'm like, listen, you could love something and critique it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I know.
You can. No one's saying you can't.
I don't know. You kind of just said something right.
No, I said you were half here for the adventure.
Yeah, see, I was critiquing, and now you're like saying I'm half. See, listen, just pay attention. Just pay attention, audience. Just pay attention.
She had one foot in, one foot out.
See, that's all. You just listen to who's saying these things. That's all I gotta say. Just listen to say these things.
No,
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I fully understand what you mean. I think a lot of it stemmed from I feel like we questioned a lot, going like, how many episodes is this actually going to be? Like,
we did, yeah.
We never really knew. So I could definitely understand.
It's funny because like, it's not that we never knew, because I think it said like somewhat early on there was going to be 20. Well, it felt like they said 20-ish, and then like it just landed on 20. So I was still like 50-50. I'm like, could there be more? And then the last episode came out, they're like, all right, y'all. And so I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, it was 20.
Yeah, so I guess in that regard, you obviously you start getting worried, like, all right, we know what we're coming up against, and we're still just sort of meandering along. So I fully get that, you're a little apprehensive of the journey. I was just like, you know what? And it was the same thing I had said when it was first announced. I'm just gonna let it cook, and I'll evaluate at the end. And so that was sort of how I took the entire series. I was just literally happy to be along for the ride.
Yeah, I'm with you. Mostly.
Except the Gohan situation, those.
Oh my gosh!
We should probably get into that, because that man couldn't even.
What is there to get into?
The tragedy of the situation. He couldn't even make the montage at the end.
Oh my gosh!
I wonder, and no, it doesn't. I wonder if it has anything to do with the super manga, but then again, that would make it even less sense to not promote it if you know what I mean. Because
they let you know Gohan is off studying. He has nothing to do with any of this anymore.
Did they even say that? I don't think they said Gohan's name once.
His name for sure had to get mentioned.
I feel like they didn't say it at all.
Which is just weird, because without going into context, this current arc is arguably going to have, or should I say, would be highly. Now I'm talking about the manga specifically as a side note, but I would be surprised if Gohan doesn't have don't have a bigger focus in Super moving forward for at least an arc or two.
Oh yeah, fair. But this is Daima. They ain't paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. I mean, it makes even less sense to not promote Gohan in a sense. Then
he off studying. That's what I'm trying to let y'all know. There's no way, by the way, Jamie, they didn't say his name.
I really don't think so they had like the flashbacks that he was in where you see him fighting, and I think there was even a flashback where he got beat up, but I'm like, that's par for the course of the Gohan. So I don't even know if he was really acknowledged in the series, which is it's hurtful.
That's so crazy.
It really is. But see, even if he was, the fact that I'm still questioning it as someone that was looking for it, I'm like, that just goes to show that it wasn't there enough. He wasn't there enough. I don't know. It was crazy. I guess moving on from this before I just get fully depressed. let's dig into some spoilers of anything that anyone wants to point out is what they really enjoy. There was one thing actually that I theorized could happen in the series that did. We definitely got to talk about that. So if anybody has anything else to kind of cap the spoiler-free section, definitely do it now. Otherwise, we'll move forward to the spoilers.
Now let's just get into spoilers.
You have to get into the spoiler and confirm that Vegeta is more relatable.
That was funny.
Okay, never mind. Let's move on.
Okay.
I don't know what happened there. I was taking a sip of my sparkling water.
He was talking about it was like towards the end when Vegeta was fighting. Was he fighting Goma or I forget who?
Oh, the Vegeta moment. No, I just didn't understand the stop. So I was.
He was laughing. That's why he couldn't get it out.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair. No, we were talking about that at Anime Walk yesterday.
Yeah, that was really funny. It was kind of shocking. Well, it wasn't shocking because like it's not that I couldn't imagine that Goku would go that far, or not Goku, that Vegeta would go that far, but just like seeing it for the first time, we're like, dang, he really is like in love, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, good for him.
That man stopped everything, and flew faster than you ever seen him fly.
Yeah,
to be like,
Yeah.
you got it, fam.
He had ultra instinct getting out of that
Right.
that fight.
To answer your question, Neo, and hello to the stream, by the way.
Hey,
This
welcome.
is something we mentioned earlier. We are unsure if this is in the same timeline as as Super or not. Which
Yeah, I don't.
they
think
don't
it is.
make clear.
It
they
sounds
had
like
done-
the producers never really cared that much. Like
Because-
that wasn't something that they were worried about being like, well, we got to make sure this ties into Super. It was just the way that they were kind of saying it in some of the articles that I was just looking up. They were kind of just like, we wanted to make the best possible anime that we could. We were focused on creating a good story. Sort of, obviously Dragon Ball has been kind of dipping into the multiverse type of thing recently anyway, so save yourself the headache and just go, oh, different timeline. That's what I do.
Yeah, I wish that they had just like been up front and been like, in an alternate timeline after the Boo saga, like XYZ happens, instead of like, I guess trying to have people guess and like maybe be hopeful, like, oh, Super Saiyan 4 is back in Dragon Ball, like maybe they'll bring it into Super or something. Like, even I don't think they're gonna do that. I think this is something totally separate.
Yeah.
But you see now the ideas in people's heads, and the people are gonna be like begging for it now, even more than they probably were before. So
Yeah, fair.
But if it was canon, Neo has a good point. Why didn't he use it against Sparrows back then? Although it wouldn't probably make any big difference, but
I guess the other thing, as much as I love the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, I was actually floored. I actually screamed in my apartment several times. I started thinking about it, which I know that's the bad side. Like, don't think.
You remember what series you watching? We got to turn those brains off.
But I started thinking about it, and I was like, what even is this transformation? Because he starts, I guess, like, is it kind of like Great Ape, but human? Or
so that's
how
what
does that
it
even
essentially
work?
was in GT. Like in GT, you went Golden Great Ape, and then what caused Goku to be able to sort of snap out of it, Pan was crying, and like she was crying out to him because she saw him like this uncontrollable monster. And then he like wiped her tears away and then sort of like harnessed her. It was weird, Jamie. He like wiped his, like you see like the big finger come wipe the tear away. It was interesting, and then he essentially harnessed the power of the Great Ape, but because he had his consciousness, he went back to humanoid form. So like that was sort of the idea. Obviously, they completely skipped the uncontrollable Great Ape power here.
And he doesn't have his tail.
That was the other thing. Yeah, they did like when he was wished to a kid in GT, the tail came back. So we were talking about that on Geekset once, and when I had looked it up, apparently somewhere in the manga, I don't know where, it said that when you cut off the tail, like when the Saiyan's tail cut off, I want to say it was like 9%. Let me see if I can find it again.
I know it comes back in the series a couple of times, but I can't remember what the conditions were for that.
So yeah, okay, wait. I just found it again. So like I said, somewhere in the manga, apparently when the tail was cut off, they said that there was only an 8% chance for the tail to come back, and that's only if your power level was lower than what that power level boost of becoming a great ape would give you. So by the time everybody's tail got cut off, they were obviously stronger than what they would go great ape. The tail just never came back, I guess. So that's what they kind of tried to retcon to give you why nobody had tails anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't kind of explain the GT getting wish to a child and getting your tail again, but it does explain why I guess Daima you didn't. Yeah. So it's a lot. Dragon Ball kind of plays fast and loose.
So then the thing, does Super Saiyan 4 depend on you having your tail and being able to go grade 8? Because if so,
in GT, if I remember correctly, it did. Because that was, if I remember correctly, that was the entire reason why Bulma had to create like those. I forgot what kind of waves they were, but that allowed Vegeta to go grade 8 and then go Super Saiyan 4.
Did Vegeta have his tail?
And so,
waves that let.
It might have been waves to make you grow the tail again.
Oh.
I would have to look it up. Like I said, I remember. Obviously, Goku got wished to the kid to become his tail, but Vegeta had to get like some shit from Bulma to be able to go Super Saiyan 4.
Okay. According to the wiki, it's sort of it's magic based. I'm just checking the wiki as for the sake of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes, I could see, in Daima there was like the dude did something to Goku and then he was able to do it.
Well, yeah, I think Neo has somewhat of a point here. If they wanted to go into the demon, just retcon in the demon realm, maybe could you make a Super Saiyan 5 combo with the Super Saiyan God? That could be kind of cool.
That would be cool, but I'm also like, I don't know. At this point, it's hard to imagine like how any of this works anymore.
It is, and like at this point, I feel like I liked what they were doing with Super, with everybody kind of having their own thing. Like Goku going the route of Ultra Instinct, Vegeta doing the route of that's a spoiler. Never mind. Vegeta's going his own route. Piccolo, obviously, you see he has like whatever this orange Piccolo,
yeah.
And then like even Gohan going Gohan Beast, like everybody having sort of their own route or their own evolution of like getting stronger power. I liked that. So like sort of trying to pigeonhole everybody back into this funnel of where you're going Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a million. Like I think they have the right idea. Daima was fun to bring it up for like, remember this thing. Let's modernize it and make it something that's meant more. Obviously, Daima's probably way better received than GT ever was.
Yeah. Yeah.
GT had these moments, but overall,
yeah. I get that. GT definitely had some things that were great. Like I think the entire Baby Saga in GT and the introduction of having this villain that basically controls you, but you got to kind of figure that out was really cool. And that turning into the Golden Great Apes to getting Super Saiyan 4, all of that was great. GT just had a lot of very low moments. And when I mean very low, I mean very, very low.
Yeah, I tried to watch GT once upon a time. That was like many, 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 many years ago. I didn't like get bored, but I didn't necessarily get like hooked. Mm-hmm. And then I think they announced like Super shortly after that. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm good.
So you watched GT very late. Okay.
Yeah. So like I do want to go back and watch GT just to see like Baby Vegeta and there's somebody that makes me think of Deborah, but it's not Deborah. I can't remember who it is.
Omega Shenron?
It might be Omega Shenron.
He's just one of the dragons, but I could. He looks kind of devilish, so that's where.
Yeah, there's like a couple other things I want to see, and Vegeta with his freaking mustache. I'm like, I want to understand why.
Nah, you don't need to see that.
Just why?
You don't need to see flat top Vegeta. That was also a terrible design.
You know, I low key, I'm like kind of into it a little bit, just because I'm like, that's weird. Like, what's that about?
Don't.
Sun Wukong levels. You know, it would be interesting to see like if Goku was more closely aligned to like the myth that he was built off of. I guess like kind of how that would go. Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely been a resurgence on like Sun Wukong storytelling and whatnot, and I've seen a ton of videos about it since the video game. So that'll be interesting. I'll be into it. See, how about this? Gohan is Sun Wukong.
I like how you switched it immediately, so that way you could try to give Gohan more shine.
Listen, he needs to be doing something, okay? This is just wasted freaking potential. You know, actually, let's talk about Gohan. Because you said we got to get into it. I'm honestly like, what is there to get into? What can we talk about this? Because
I just wanted to talk about how tragic it was. He didn't even make the ending montage. They showed plenty of people, and Gohan was just gone.
In trunks or in there, just skateboarding, not even doing anything that matters to the plot. Why couldn't Gohan have been in there reading a book or something? At least we know he's probably reading a book. I don't know.
Good point.
That was so bizarre. It was so crazy. Like, why? I don't know. That's what I want to know. And I don't know if like there's been any kind of comments from the creative team behind Daima as to why Gohan wasn't in this at all. I'm sure somebody had to have asked him or not asked them, but
let me look. I'm gonna see.
It's so bizarre. I know like the Daima team Daima, I guess, was very limited with just like Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo. And even then, Piccolo, he was like, he didn't do a ton. I'm not gonna
lie. Piccolo even messed up when the one thing that he was supposed to do.
He really could have been king of the demon realm. If he had just got one thing right, he could have been king of the demon realm. Like, that's so crazy to me. But I don't know. That was probably my biggest disappointment. Gohan had one time to shine. So we never talking about him? We're never giving him any other kind of shine? Like, is that what we're saying? Is that what we're saying? Goku gets to do something every time Dragon Ball is on screen, but Gohan gets one thing, and now it's like, oh, but y'all had that movie. Y'all had that movie. Why y'all asking for anything else? Y'all had the movie. And even then, it was like, he waited so long. They literally kept saying, yo, like, something go on with your daughter. You might want to check on her. He's like, yo, I'm working. Like, go send Piccolo. Piccolo got it. I'm like, that was awful. I'm like, don't be like your father. Be better. I'm like, don't send Piccolo. Oh my God. But we can't do this. We have to let Gohan grow as a person. Like, if he's going to be retired from fighting, which a lot of people has theorized as to why it could be, and I understand some of the theories of, like, maybe he just doesn't like fighting in general. Please say that to me. Please kill any kind of hope that I have so that I let go, because this is painful. It's awful to be in this state.
Ooh, so this ain't gonna help. So obviously Toriyama after the Cell Saga and before the Buu Saga was like, you know what, Gohan is not fit to be the protagonist, which is why Goku came back for the Buu Saga.
I thought it was the fans that did that.
I thought so too.
I feel like that might have been a rumor and that everybody just ran with.
What if it is true? And then Akira's like, I can't let people think that they really influence me like that, so I'm gonna say it.
Maybe that'd be crazy. However, this is where I said it doesn't get any better for you, and it just sounds like, you know, they just did not care. According to the producer of Dragon Ball Superhero, the only reason Gohan was given that role is because he literally begged Toriyama to put him in the story. So it was like a fine, here. So, unfortunately, I just think Gohan was never slated. They were just like, this ain't the story I'm trying to tell. Toriyama looked at it like, look, you got Gohan some shine in the Buu saga. You lucky he got that.
It's
I told you it wasn't going to be great for you.
It's like, okay, I get it. You don't want him to be the main character, anything like that. Like, can he just be the next Krillin? Like, he can just be around? Like, can we not just at least have him around?
Do you really want him to be the next Krillin?
I want him to do something, but obviously
he is
people
doing
don't.
something.
He
is studying.
He's being non-existent, is what he's being.
He is.
And
We didn't
Krillin
see him
is-
studying. We didn't see him do anything.
Krillin the cop. You don't want him to be Krillin.
Yeah.
Listen, Krillin's supposedly helping the people of whatever the town is called. Okay,
They bring Krillin around because they want 18 there. Not even on like that. They want 18 there because 18 is least powerful.
bring Gohan around so that way.
Videl
Pan
not
can be there.
powerful.
Pan. She's
Goku-
supposed to be the future.
Goku just grabbed Pan himself. He like, that's my granddaughter. I don't need you around.
No, we already know he's a bad parental figure. Have
But
Gohan be
But
president.
apparently not a bad granddad. You didn't watch GT, but you also seen the scenes in Super. Like apparently Goku is the great granddad. Maybe he learned from his mistakes as a father.
Oh my gosh. No, he didn't, because his son's still being left behind in his shadow to this day. To this day.
Look, he's like, look, my son is old. He's an adult now. I ain't got nothing to do.
Old. His father is saying, yo, my son is old, bro. Come
he
on.
looking like that son is an adult. I messed up there. I'm gonna start with the new generation. I got a new chance with my granddaughter. I bet Pan would have showed up.
Maybe.
At least let him
Maybe
be like
there's
Mr.
that-
Satan. Like, shit. Come on. Please. Something.
Yeah.
All people want the new generation to replace Goku, but Toei's afraid to move on from. I believe that.
I mean, I feel like we established that back in when did the Buu Saga originally come back? What was that? 97?
Was that 97?
So
Yeah, I think like in Japan. I'm pretty sure it was like in the 90s.
So I don't know. It's not a tangent, but it can get to that point. So we'll have to stop before it gets too like in the
I
weeds.
feel like we got. To
I
this
mean,
tangent.
So
yeah, we can keep going if you want. You clearly need to win, Jamie.
listen, Boruto, right?
Oh no, we can cut it off right here.
Listen,
We could have stopped right now.
Listen.
Oh, we're
I'm
talking
trying to
about that
ask.
show.
I try to ask because I don't know, because I don't watch Boruto. I'm getting
Good,
to Naruto
you shouldn't.
right now. Okay, so you don't feel like it's doing well as far as like continuing the legacy of Naruto?
No.
I heard the manga was good. Aren't you reading the manga?
The manga had it was like, whoo, we cooking. I actually haven't read the last like 3 or 4 chapters because it was just like, what we doing?
Okay. What's been a successful successor?
I don't think that there has been, to be honest. Boruto might be the most successful sequel series, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, don't quote me on that because that's just me thinking off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't think of anything else. Hold on, let me see if I can find something.
When you say sequel series, are you talking next generation or? Are
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I wouldn't necessarily count Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, something like that, or like Naruto to Naruto Shippuden as a sequel series, because I can tell Jamie kind of means like where it's tied to that universe, but you're following another person or like the person's spiritual successor.
Yeah.
I can't think of, to be honest, in that vein, I can't think of too many sequel series in general.
Yeah.
Can you count the part 1, part 2, part 3 etc. of Yo-Yo as sequels ever since its new generations?
Um, I
That's
don't
probably going to be the
know.
closest that you can think, though.
Maybe.
Because like the only other one I can think of is like Inuyasha had that sequel series of what was it, Yashahime, which wasn't I guess the best received.
Okay.
Wasn't it called Yashahime, I believe?
I'm vaguely aware of
It
that
was.
show, but I didn't know it was tied to Inuyasha actually.
That's Sashomaru, like the two main characters are Sashomaru's twin daughters, and then the other character is Inuyasha's daughter.
Okay.
I'm one of the few I feel like it doesn't like Inuyasha, to be quite honest.
I enjoyed Inuyasha.
I've only seen a little bit, but from what I saw, I liked.
So
yeah, I guess to answer your question, I can't think of anything. And to what Neo the One puts in the comment, that is very true. It's very because that's like replacing Pikachu essentially. Like what if they were just like, all right, Pichu is now the number one starter. Like Pichu is the one who's going to show up on everything.
Gohan is Pichu.
I mean, yeah, sure. The main character Liko has a Meowscarada as a starter, but we still have a Pikachu that is a main character in it. So
I guess the closest you could go is maybe Pokemon because they moved past Ash now at this point.
But yeah, but that's more of a standalone type of deal. It's not like
I didn't know that.
There has been no connection to the Ash one, so I think it's just.
It ain't. I thought like Ash was. I thought he was like a teacher somewhere or something. I don't know what he doing once you retire.
Isn't he still like 15 or something?
This is as far as I can notice, it's standalone.
Oh, okay. So yeah, then that probably. Again, I think it would like what if they did like Ash's second year, like after he just won his championship, and now he was like, all right, Pikachu, you in the rafters now. Pichu, let's go.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I feel like. That's what
people would riot.
Yeah.
People would go crazy.
Or if like Pikachu decided, I'm gonna evolve now. Like we won the championship.
I feel like people would be more down for that. Maybe
people would be more down for that because that way he wouldn't at least how should I put it abandon his Pikachu.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
Okay, well,
maybe that's like the Pikachu's son or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I know that there was rumors that speculations that Leek would be Ash's daughter, but that didn't happen. Obviously, that some even suggested that she would have been Jesse and James' daughter. But
I was gonna say that'd be crazy because to Jamie's point, ain't Ash still like 10?
I mean, you could have flash. It could have been a flash forward.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Sort of like that, and a lot of reasons why they wonder if it could be in the Asian games is because they married in a manga. Yes, I can't recall the name of that one. It's from '97, but I digress.
Oh, nice. Good for them. So I guess it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work, is what I'm hearing.
I mean, there could be a spin-off show with Gohan as
it wouldn't be a sequel. A spin-off.
No, spin-off. I could say. I mean, they have done a lot of. This is not specifically spoilers because it's off topic, but they have done some more about some shenanigans with Goten and Trunks recently. So
yeah.
I'm starting to wonder if they are opening up for.
Also, that doesn't help Jamie. I just thought about that.
I know.
Look, that's the other thing. Gohan, he's not the future anymore. The second brother is here.
See, okay, so here's the thing, right? Here's where I'm at. If I tell myself like, oh yeah, you know what? They just forgotten Gohan. He's no longer the it boy. Whatever. We're moving on. It's Team Goten. They could do the same thing to me again.
Oh, they might do the same thing to you again.
They could be the same thing Again, I feel like it's less likely because he literally looks just like Goku. So like, it could be the perfect replacement. You don't have to change any imagery, nothing
No,
like that. Just
actually,
change
not.
the name.
Didn't he not look like Goku at the end of Superhero, I should say, when they finally had their growth spurt? He didn't look like a teen Goku. Cause remember he had a different haircut now. Hold on,
Oh,
let me
did he
see.
have like he grew out his hair?
Yeah.
But is that also? Oh yeah, it is.
That is,
Okay.
yeah, I was gonna say that's the same design that they used in the manga.
I mean, okay. Well, they have to change the design. I try to throw him. Maybe he get his haircut. I don't know.
Yeah, here I'll show you. I just found it. I'll send it to you in Discord.
Okay.
That's how he looks as a teen now. So it's like, I think it's one of those things of
he's going for. I don't know. He should get away from that because it's kind of giving like kid Gohan, and I'm like, that's a bad thing. You don't want to be there. You don't want to be there. You might get forgotten.
I will say, because he has Trunks with him, so like now you have the next
Yeah.
level, not just Goku, which probably was the downfall for Gohan. You have the next generation's Goku and Vegeta. So now you have the, because yes, they don't want to get away from Goku, but they very much don't want to get away from Vegeta. Like Goku and Vegeta are very much a package deal.
See, that's kind of messed up because like Gohan could have had his Vegeta in future Trunks. That's still
Well,
the
no,
same
'cause
Trunks that
No,
Gohan
he had
or Goten has.
to go to the future. You couldn't have that one.
He didn't have to go nowhere.
He
could
did.
have
He
stayed.
had to go back. You were gonna future Bulma and not ever see your son again.
The closest one to Gohan's Vegeta, I argue, is Piccolo.
Which is
But
crazy. Like, you just-
That's kind of his dad. Like
Yeah.
that's not his Vegeta.
I mean, am I wrong?
I don't know. That's a different dynamic, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Future Trunks is probably, I think she was right with it, but again, it was just bad because, Future Trunks had to go back to his timeline.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean,
You know what?
worked for superheroes, so I'm okay with that idea.
Just give me a Great Saiyaman show instead. I'll just be
Oh
happy
no,
with that.
that's the worst version of Gohan.
You know what? I had so much fun watching that as a kid. I have to go back now and watch it and see how I feel. But I still think about it. I'm like, yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed
I look at that as the reason why Gohan is not a little long. Somebody did that and it was like,
no.
you know what? Yeah, he don't deserve no more shine.
No, that's not it. That's not it. He was fighting love and fighting crime. What more do you need?
Looking like a fool out there.
Listen, it was fun.
It was not. It was cringe.
Listen, I'll watch it.
Because you just want anything Gohan at this moment.
No, it's not even that. I genuinely thought it was fun.
No. You even said, why don't we even see him studying? Gohan could be there reading a book and you're like, yep, my boy back. Let's go.
No, I said, why don't we see him studying at least in the show? Because we didn't see him at all. That was my point. I don't know. In any case, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. That's all I can say about this whole thing. It was frustrating about Gohan. But we've talked about Gohan, I feel like, for far too long. Let's talk about something.
You prefaced that conversation by saying let's make sure we stop before we get into tangent territory.
Well, it was the Boruto thing that was the tangent.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say we clearly did not.
Yeah. Super Saiyan 4. We talked a little bit about that. That was dope.
What about Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta first?
Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta was also I didn't scream at that, but I was definitely like I was awestruck. I was like, damn, that's crazy. He did as a kid, he did as an adult. We got both.
Right. I don't like the way his hair stands, but I guess it makes sense with the way his hair is in regular,
It's kind of Super Saiyan 3 in general just looks weird. So
that's also true.
Yeah, it's shouldn't they have neck pain with all that hair?
As a bald, I don't know because my hair's never
bald.
my hair's never been that long. Can hair get heavy enough that it causes neck pain?
I mean, I feel like it'd have to be a lot of hair, which they did have a lot of hair, but I don't even know if it hit that threshold.
Okay,
like I'm sure it's got some weight, but I don't know if it's like, you know,
I
snap
still
it
find
right
it
there.
funny that the supposed reason why the Super Saiyan forms have yellow hair is because he wanted to save time in the drawing and
Yeah, like
using.
coloring it in.
Yeah.
Yes, that was nice also. And
That was crazy.
That was really crazy.
it was.
I
But it
kind
was
of
still.
wish. Oh, go ahead.
Go on, Jamie. Go on.
Um, I was gonna say I kind of wish that we had like maybe another episode, maybe 2 episodes to kind of decompress from everything. And also like when Goku broke a hole in the like 3 different realms with the Kamehameha, I'm like, yo, how is that gonna affect like the way the realms, I guess, operate? Because like the ocean was kind of spilling into the other realm. And I'm like, is that
Yeah,
bad?
that threw me because at first I thought it was. Cause remember how they had like those barriers between.
Yeah.
So like at first I thought he just shattered those, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. You know, he shattered the barriers. Now people can freely go through between the 3. But then yeah, like you said, the water started flowing through, and I'm like, so does no one else have water anymore? Is this
All right.
one about to be flooded? What's going on?
It seemed like the water
Everybody.
was still
I have to say, everybody seemed cool. They looked at it in shock. It's like, man, he a powerful dude. All right.
there.
Like,
That was crazy. Yeah, I did not notice that. Or if I did, I forgot. But that's cool. It's a nice nod. Um, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was fun. So like you see Goku, I think it was Goku, drop the like little bag of bugs, the healing bugs or whatever, like before they get into the big battle. And then like what is it called? Like Chekhov's gun, I think is the
Are you talking about the story? You.
or like you see something in a story and it has to like make an impact in some kind of way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the Chekhov's gun.
yeah. I thought it was funny that was like the little end credit scene was like them going back to the store to buy more bugs. I didn't think that's how it was gonna end up being. Like that's interesting.
what was really interesting with that was the fact that there was the other 2 eyes, where it's like, oh, okay, so these
Oh
regular.
yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. Like, did they destroy them after that? Did they take them for themselves? Who knows? To think that freaking Goma could have had maybe 2 eyes. Actually, can you even have 2 eyes? Or are you just gonna blow up?
I don't know. He could have had 3. Like there were 2
Could
still
have
there.
had 3. And then the lady doesn't know where she got them from. I don't know. That was crazy. That was funny.
Can we talk about the fact that when Goma, I guess, grew up, however you want to put it, when he got larger, he just had a Pride Trooper fit? Like,
you know, his outfit was already like the Pride, but you could just like you never thought about it because you didn't. You know,
yeah.
he was not built like them. But
Right.
when he was built like them, you're like, oh wait a minute, like interesting. I noticed that too.
I was like, oh, okay. Y'all just said, well, this was a good design. Let's use it again.
Yeah, we like this.
Or maybe it's like maybe it's a standard issue fit that just the rest of the universes don't know about. Like, what if that's what everybody wears in Universe 11? Like, that wasn't just
That's
for the
the
Pride
Nike.
Trooper. Yeah.
That's their Nike tracksuit.
Right.
Okay.
Somebody from Universe 11 sees it like, man, Goma got that money. Okay.
Yep. That's funny. Glorio I thought was interesting. I feel like so they in the beginning they built him up to be like this really like mysterious guy, like maybe could be evil.
He was sus from episode 1 to where he finally wasn't. And I was like, oh, okay. Cause I thought he was gonna betray them.
Because like I was like iffy on like what are his intentions with this, and then you see him call Arinsu. Is it Arinsu?
I think
Am I thinking
so.
of the right person? The lady, the witch lady. That sounds crazy, but that's what she was. You see him call her, and clearly she is not on the Z
Yes,
Fighters team.
Supreme
So
Kai's I think older sister.
I think
Supreme
I don't
Kai's
know.
sister. I don't.
Sister, yes. Sister, I can confirm. I saw like, oh, like something is gonna turn out with this. And then it kind of just that arc closes off at the end with him just like making the wish with the Dragon Balls, which by the way, like that kind of blew by for me. I don't know if I just like forgot or wasn't locked in, but it's like episode ends and then the next episode starts, all of a sudden the dragon is there. Like, did they go through the whole thing of wishing
Yeah,
the dragon?
yeah.
Okay, I must
That
have missed
that
that.
episode before it ended with him. I think he. I think he said the wish and they didn't show the translation. If I remember correctly, either he started to say it and it cut off, or he said the wish without the translation because obviously, like in the Namekian language, and then it cuts off, and then they sort of do it again at the beginning of the next episode. So yeah, they did go through the whole thing.
Okay, I must have missed that then, because I was like, "Why? Where did the dragon come? He's just here." Like that was so strange. Like I must have missed something. But yeah, he kind of just like jumps in and wishes to have like everybody back to normal, and then that was it. And I was like, oh, I was
You
thinking he
think
was gonna.
on Earth are also back to normal? Like you think?
Yeah, they had the Goten and Trunks and
Oh,
the
that's right.
Piccolo,
Okay,
like
yeah,
they're
that's right.
normal and all that. That was thinking Gorio was actually gonna like fight again. I was thinking he was gonna fight people
Well,
again.
technically, he was in that fight against Goma. He was in there shooting and.
But I thought he was gonna fight against like Goku and Vegeta and
Oh,
yeah. I thought it was gonna go like he was really about the evil or whatever. I forget what even was his goal. I forget.
his goal is literally just to help the Supreme Kai's sister, and I don't even know if her goal was like she just wanted power. I don't know if she was evil. I don't know if she was good. She was just like, I want to be in charge.
You know what's funny about that? So I watched like a couple of videos before we got on the pod where they were talking about Dragon Ball Daima, and so they show that like her ultimate goal is to become like the Demon King,
right?
And she effectively got what she wanted at the end of the series. So I was like, she kind of won.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think after everybody heard what her goal was, like she said she wanted it to be. I know she said she wanted the power level of the demon realm to essentially be higher, so they could be a more formidable demon realm. And I think everybody was just kind of like, all right, that sounds logical. Whatever. Like I don't care enough. Like
yeah. Having Ku as the Demon King, I didn't see that one coming at all.
No, but it works. I like it. I liked Ku. I forgot what was it, Ku and Do?
Yeah.
I like both of them. I'm glad I'm glad they're still around. We'll see if they show up in anything else.
Yeah, I feel like going into this with the perspective that they were gonna be like Majin Buu, since they like have a piece of Majin Buu in them. I'm glad that they, in a way, weren't like Buu, like Kid Buu, like where he's super evil, and they have like some of, I guess, what do you call him? Just Boo, like that's the big puffy Boo.
Yeah,
that's like kind of kitty, but sometimes he will just do something evil.
Right? Yeah,
like they don't have all of that, but they are like they're kind of goofy. They're both into chocolate. Ku is more like I'm about the peace. I realize I'm not a great fighter, so I'm just here to be with everybody.
I don't think Do is anything different though. I think he's just like,
I feel like Ku doesn't know he's not a good fighter.
I think he's just like, oh, okay, because I guess he looks at him as like his big brother. He's like, all right, Ku told me to do this. We doing it. Like, so I don't know. It's interesting with him. I like the fake Super Saiyan 3, like when everybody saw Goku yelling to power up, and he was like, "Oh, okay, this is how you do it."
They all that was funny. Yeah. That was great. Yeah, there are some good comedy moments in this show too.
Did we lose Isaac?
I don't think so.
No, you didn't. I was just helping out with a thing that I just needed to rush with.
Oh, okay. No worries. I was just like, man, I haven't heard him say anything in a while.
No,
Yeah.
you're good.
I just needed to fix one thing.
That's fair.
Do you
Sure.
have anything you want to highlight from the series, Isaac, as a whole, or any kind of just anything in general?
No, nothing more than I am a bit disappointed in the lack of go at myself. But even if I am not as disappointed as you, I did like my favorite moment was the Vegeta moment, just because. Well,
Yeah, that's funny.
It just took me off guard, but it also makes sense in a way.
It does. It does.
And
That should have been
do-
like the final credit scene was like Bulma sitting in the bath and Vegeta's like, "Is it time? Can I come in?"
I mean,
That would be funny.
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't have been. Considering Akira Toriyama wrote this, I wouldn't have been that surprised. Not if it were the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. It was. I feel like that was a moment. Granted, it was definitely there just for comic relief, but it also lets you know like how far Vegeta has come. Like,
Yeah.
Vegeta's
I
Saiyan
don't think
Saga.
Goku loves Chi-Chi that much.
Yeah, no, I don't think Goku doing that. Like, if she would have said that, Goku would have like, all right, I can train. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, he's like, I don't like taking baths anyway.
I mean, weren't there someone that said that somehow the Shishin Goku had never kissed, even though, yeah, you get
know,
the ordeal.
I remember hearing something like that.
I do too.
I would believe it. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
Which is kind of like for Goku, I get it. Chi-Chi, I'm like, how did you let that happen? How did you let that happen?
Oh man, Neo the One is a Vegeta hater in the comments.
Whoa! Why are you a Vegeta hater?
Like to know. Is it because of his recent power up? I mean,
in the manga, I like that one.
It fits him. That I will admit. Or admit is the wrong word, but you get the ordeal. But
I'm trying to think. What else did
I mean, we should definitely talk Super Saiyan 4, I guess. We sort of glossed through it.
I don't know. I feel what do you want to talk about with that?
I guess we have nothing else.
I was about to say, I feel like we talked about it a good bit.
Okay, the reason why what we could take it up is honestly one thing. Do you feel that they will address the Super Saiyan 4 in some way, considering they knew the popularity of that transformation, or otherwise I don't think they would have made it into Daima, to be perfectly honest.
I don't think
because
so.
there is a lot of fan service in this show.
Yeah,
I think it is the reason why they brought it up here. I don't see it showing up in Super. I think they were, like I said, going back to the idea of the multiple realities. Now you have a modern thing that is canon, so to speak, that uses Super Saiyan 4 versus, Super Saiyan God and then Ultra Instinct and going on like that.
Yeah. I'm with Didge. I don't think that this is a sign that like, oh, we can bring Super Saiyan 4 into Super. Like I think this is like its own kind of thing. And I think even to Didge's point, they probably felt like, oh, we could do Super Saiyan 4 in this because this isn't really attached to Super.
Yeah.
No, I know I've thought of one thing, but it would be manga spoiler. No, it is from the superheroes, so it's not manga spoilers. Okay,
give it to Gohan. I like your style.
That's the thing. What if it's a level for Gohan at one? Because his level is Super Saiyan Beast, and it is a beast form if you really think about it.
Yeah.
True.
So
The issue with that is Gohan just going to be, studying.
I get you. I get you now.
No, I get you. So wait, he says, who is the they in this? Because I never get the vibe of this from Shaw. Are you saying like Vegeta fans?
Yeah, like maybe Vegeta, because I feel like even in the show, it's like every time you see Vegeta, like he does something and then he'll get his ass beat, and then Goku's like, "You want me to step in?" And then he'll just okay. So I don't think that ever.
I mean, there's.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's talking about Vegeta fans. Okay,
Okay, that's fair.
The fans, they can make you deeply dislike things about the show that you like. So
I fully get that. That's why after that I was like, okay, I understand.
Yeah. I mean,
but yeah, I could see them implement Super Saiyan 4 for Gohan if they want to give him some extra power boost later down the line. Even more, that is.
I mean,
do you give him one? Like he just got Beast.
I was about to say, like,
I mean, we don't
even
know
later
how
down
long
the line,
Super will. We don't know how long Super will go on.
Yeah, that's fair.
At this point, I'm like,
and Toei loves some good merchandise. So.
Yeah, not for everybody, but they do like good merch.
I feel like you can get some good Gohan merch. Hold on, let me go to the.
I'm sure you can find some, but it's not like Goku merch.
What you looking
not like
for?
Goku merch, but
what you looking for Gohan wise?
It's nothing that they could give me, honestly. Nothing that they were willing to give me. I'm just looking for stuff for the show. I'm just saying, like.
Let me see.
I'm sure merch can probably find anything you want.
Are we talking figurines or just nothing that is, or should I say, something other than a T-shirt? If you catch
I'm sure
my
they
drift.
got all that for Gohan. I just don't think it's gonna be the same as with Goku.
It's not
even if they did give him like a transformation or something. Like I don't think it's gonna. I don't think people are gonna take to it as they would have maybe years prior. But
I feel like Gohan still has a huge amount of fans. The amount of times I hear
we're not making waves enough for them to do anything about it, did?
It sounds like y'all need to organize. Call up the Gohan committee.
Yeah, I need to do that. Wait, son, Gohan. That's what we need. That's the next video, guys. We're talking about why is still a Son Gohan. Where was Gohan?
I'm surprised that I haven't noticed the change of your name.
Oh, I saw it. I saw it a little bit ago. I was like, oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's No, I was just saying it'll be interesting to see where Dragon Ball goes from here because let me see if I could find that quote again. Where they were saying, there are a ton of Dragon Ball stories still in the pipeline. Some of them are movies. They specifically did not say anything anime. So I'm like, what does that mean for the super anime? Like what is going on there? I think there are like 4 or 5 arcs now since the Tournament of Power.
3.
Is it only? Well, 3, and then you got the hint of the 4th arc. Like,
yeah, that we have
there's the Granola arc.
Arc. What I would say, Prison Break arc.
Yeah, the Prison Break arc.
And then...
Oh, it might only be 2.
Yeah. Oh, I thought because they adapted superhero for the manga, I thought it was 3, but yeah, it's only 2.
Because at the end of that last arc, I don't want to jump into spoiler for you, Jamie, but a character is back.
Yeah. And at this point, we might as well start covering the manga with how much we are talking about that during this.
I do want to.
Yeah.
I was reading it a little bit, and then like I got sidetracked. I need to pick it back up. Let's see. I was trying to think. There was something I wanted to say.
But yeah, I'm a bit annoyed that they haven't even talked about returning to the Super anime. Not gonna lie.
It. Yeah, I would like them to say. I had to retcon the end of Z.
So that part at the end of Z where Goku goes off to fight with
Oob.
or train
Yeah.
Oob, you definitely got to retcon that because
I
it's
feel like they kind of did do that because like Oob is nowhere to be found.
yeah, right.
Sorry
Yeah.
for the Oob people. I'm right there with you.
How many Oob people are there really out there though?
I feel like there could be some.
He is to be found. Didge. He is to be found, but in the manga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oob was found in Gohan.
Okay.
Also forgotten. Yeah, but I feel like they already did kind of like retcon it because some of those things kind of just not really talked about too much. Kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, at this point, it's like it's just stories. Like I feel like when Battle of the Gods came out, I didn't exactly know what it was connected to, but I was like, oh, it's just more Dragon Ball Z, so I'm gonna watch it. And kind of like same thing with like Broly and all this other stuff. So I'm like, we're just just here. Just
That's
watching
the
stuff.
thing that's always interesting to me with like manga versus Western like comics. Obviously comics have so many different runs, so many different. The story will change. It'll be like, all right, this is the official run. This is just the story that we're telling. But it feels like so many manga fans are like everything has to tie into this one storyline. We can't have a continuous story of this is the mainline run, but if you're interested in the Elseworlds run, here is that one. And it's like it feels like specifically anime and manga, everybody gets so tied up into, well, how does this tie into this one central storyline versus, again, like you were saying, this is just more Dragon Ball stories.
Yeah.
It might not have anything to do with canon, but you don't immediately disregard it. Like mangas aren't able to have their own Ultimates universe, essentially.
So I guess to my question earlier, talking about like I guess successful sequels, it couldn't necessarily be for anime, but I guess for just like Western cartoons, you could see that being the case. So what you're saying is Gohan needs to come to the West.
And this could also be true. I don't know about that statement, but I do think it's Western anime fans, because to what Neil the one is saying, I just for Christmas this past year, I had just bought my niece the what was it? Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. No, it was Bungo Stray Dogs one. It was the Bungo Stray Dogs one.
Oh, I was like, is that safe for kids? I was like, I don't know.
I think it is. I have no idea. She watches it with my sister-in-law.
Oh.
Sure, she would know. But what I bring up Bungo Stray Dogs to. They had Bungo Stray Dogs. They had Bungo Stray Dogs Juan. It's like a spin-off series. They had Bungo Stray Dogs. What was it called? But it was like there were so many different ones, and they're all still ongoing. So like I had to make sure I'm literally buying the right one, because she's like, no, she has volume 2 and 3 of Bungo Stray Dogs. She doesn't have volume 2 and 3 of Bungo Stray Dogs Juan. And it's like,
oh gosh.
So to what Neil the one is saying, Japan definitely doesn't seem like they care, because so many things have spin off. Yeah, look at Kaiju number 8. Kaiju number 8 has the Kaiju number 8 B-side. Like they have so many different Fate, like, but it does feel like, I guess to amend what I was saying earlier, Western anime fans, Western manga fans, everything is, well, is this canon? Should I not care if it's not canon? And it's like, is it a good story? That's what you really want to care about.
Yeah, that's definitely true, because a lot of people, even just looking at Western media itself, like even just looking at the MCU, like people are always like, how does this tie back to like whatever else? I'm like, does it always have to tie back? Like, can we just like, enjoy a movie or whatever? I do understand it because sometimes I ask the same question, but I'm like, if it was a fun movie, it was a fun movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
I had a good time.
I mean, it's how should I put it? It's a lot of it has to do with you all seen the meaning of okay, where should I start this comic? You should start at the number one of this run and then move forward, blah blah blah. And with manga, is here's number one, here you go, and it's more like Western. A lot of Western anime and manga fans is drawn to stuff like One Piece stuff, like Dragon Ball stuff, like Naruto, because it's just simple. Episode 1 / number 1. Okay, let's go, kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. No. It's good points. It's good points. I think I've exhausted the things that I wanted to talk about. A lot of it was unfortunately Gohan and the lack thereof. I apologize. But no, this was a great series. And if you somehow have watched this without watching the series, I would recommend y'all go back and check it out, support it. You know, this is the last project that Akira Toriyama worked on, unfortunately. So, you know, anything from this moment forward, you know, it's going to be a brand new era in a different kind of way.
Yep.
Like we said, it should be interesting to see how long the Super manga is going on now without Akira.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see where they go from here. Like I said, knowing that they're talking about all of the different projects that are at least somewhere in the pipeline, it sounds like we should be getting Dragon Ball for years to come, and you just hope it keeps up the quality that we've been getting.
Yeah. I guess to kind of close things out with the final question, you know, after having now seen Daima, what would you like to see from it could be the series as a whole going forward, or if you want like a season 2 of Daima, what would that look like? I'm curious. So we can start with Isaac.
I don't want to see two Diamond Akira. It's dead. I want Super anime back, to be quite frank.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything, I guess, from Daima that you would want to see incorporated into Super?
I would be open to see if they could incorporate something similar to how they incorporate, like, say, Broly, because Broly in Super is not the Broly as he is in GT and the other movies kind of deal. He's in the essence the same character, but he isn't the same character, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, that is true. Okay. What about you, Didge?
I would probably echo it, what Isaac was saying, just because a lot of what the Super manga did after the Tournament of Power has been really, really interesting. So I would love to see it animated and just to keep the story going. You know, I want to see, because I know the guy who's doing the Super manga. He was working with Toriyama for a while. So it feels like we should hopefully at least still get the essence or the spirit of, you know, someone who worked closely together with him. And I'm curious to see what he'll be able to do as, you know, he's able to take the reins, because he's also the dude. I don't know if you ever read that fan manga, the Dragon Ball AF one.
Maybe. It sounds
well. He was the creator of that. So
okay.
he definitely has some experience in, you know, creating original stories for Dragon Ball.
What does the AF stand for? It's not as fuck, right?
I think it was like after, I don't know. Let me see. I think it was like after Future or something. It was
okay.
something very basic. Dragon Ball as fuck is crazy though. Let me see.
Okay. While you're looking that up, for me, obviously, you know, like having more Gohan would be great. But at this point, you know, if we're gonna move on from Gohan, then I would like to see more of what like Trunks and Goten are doing, because I feel like we only ever see them as like a buffer with like, oh, I need to fight this big dude, but I gotta power up Trunks, Goten, go fuse, and then like go fight him for a little bit, and then like after that, we don't really get to see much from them. So, like, you know, maybe build them up a little bit more. That would be cool. I'd also like to see Super come back. see what like the next arc is about. From what I'm reading in the manga, which like I'm only a few chapters in, it seems like it's gonna be pretty crazy and kind of not necessarily back to basics, but not as extravagant as like all the big tournaments and stuff that have happened in recent Dragon Ball history. So I'm excited to keep reading that. But Daima was great. If we could have some more world building like Daima did, then that would be cool.
Nice.
But yes. All right. I think we did the thing, everybody. So Isaac, where can the people find and support you outside of the amateur otaku?
Well, mostly it's amateur talker right now, but I'm working on some solo projects. We recently posted a DMC episode and the episode of chapter 2 of Metaphor Fantasia manga. If you have played the game, I recommend that manga so far. It's good, even if it's quite different from the game, that for sure. And well, I hopefully those projects is done sooner rather than later.
All right, cool. Everybody ought to keep their eye out on that. Dish, what you got cooking? What's going on?
You can find me at dig_DEE in most places. I think there's no underscore on YouTube. Or over there on the Geek Set Podcast, which is at Geek Set Podcast everywhere. You can look for our Anime Milwaukee coverage coming up. There's a few stuff that we've been recording outside that should be coming out in the coming weeks and hopefully not months, but like shorter term. And then just on my personal page, be some more gaming content and some Unreal stuff will be coming up. I'm getting closer to the finish line with some of that stuff, so we'll start rolling that out.
Okay, nice, cool. And yeah, y'all can find me at Swiper_Prime. I'm actually streaming, playing through Metaphor. So if y'all, wherever you're looking for the Metaphor content,
I finally got her to do it. That.
It was not. I literally said I was gonna play this game before.
I know.
It took a while. It took a while. But now at this point, I'm kind of like, I feel like Persona 6, like it could be announced today. It could be announced a year from today. I don't know. I'm just hoping that I can get close to finishing Metaphor before it comes out. Hopefully a little bit before then, so I have a break, some time to breathe, because I know that'll probably also be another year of my life playing through that game. But yeah, playing through Metaphor. Actually just got done playing Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. That was a really fun game. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm excited for Ninja Gaiden 4. It will come out in a month, 2 months, something like that soon.
I don't think it had. I don't think it had an actual date.
It was this year though.
It is for sure this year, but it doesn't have.
Okay.
Yeah, it just says 2025.
Okay.
Q3 or Q4 is what it's saying.
Well, soon. That's all I can say.
No, you had me scared when you said next month. I was like, wait a minute.
Apologies for the jump scare. But yeah, doing that, playing through Okami as well on the channel, and I see why a lot of people like kind of connect that game to Zelda. That one's been really fun too. So a whole bunch going on there. Cooking some other things on the Shampoo channel. So yeah, I'll let y'all know when those things go live. But yeah, I think that's it for us. So if you guys enjoyed the conversation, learned something about Dragon Ball, definitely be sure to hit the like button. It helps our channel out a ton. And if you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe so you get notifications for either the next video or the next live stream that goes up. And be a part of the community, chat it up, all of that. What did y'all think about Daima? Definitely let us know in the comments down below. And Gohan fans out there, I'll put a hug emoji in the chat out of condolences and solidarity. We'll get through this. This is a tough moment for us, but we'll get through it.
Oh yeah.
We appreciate y'all for hanging with us. And until next time, make sure to keep watching anime and keep reading manga. We'll see you later.
See you later.